नमस्कार दोस्तों, वेलकम टू लाइफ एक्सप्रेस वेयर देयर इज नो ड्रामा, नो फेक, ओनली फैक्ट्स टू कीप यू अवेक। जी हाँ, सही सुना आपने। लाइफ एक्सप्रेस एक ऐसी दुनिया है, एक ऐसा एकेडमिक प्लेटफॉर्म है जहाँ हम बेमतलब की बातें नहीं करते, क्योंकि यहाँ बातें होती है सिर्फ रियल लाइफ के, रियल लोगों के, रियल अचीवमेंट्स की, और बातें होती है रियल नॉलेज की अंडर भारतीय ज्ञान परंपरा, जिसकी बुनियाद वसुधैव कुटुंबकम पर आधारित है। वसुधैव कुटुंबकम यानी द होल वर्ल्ड इज आवर फैमिली। भले ही वसुधैव कुटुंबकम और अतिथि देवो भव का पालन करते करते हिंदुस्तान को भारी नुकसान उठाना पड़ा, लेकिन आज हर भारतीय को ये कहते हुए काफ़ी गर्व होता है कि भारत एक ऐसा देश है जिसने आज तक ना ही किसी पे आक्रमण किया और ना ही किसी पे राज किया। हाँ, हमने पूरी दुनिया पे राज किया, लेकिन उनके अधिकार, अस्तित्व एवं संस्कृति को छीन कर नहीं, बल्कि उनके दिलों पर राज किया, अपनी प्राचीन सभ्यता एवं संस्कृति और फिलॉसफी की खुशबू बिखेर कर। इसी भारतीय परंपरा को आगे बढ़ाते हुए लाइफ एक्सप्रेस अपने मिशन पे आप सभी के सहयोग से आगे बढ़ रही है, जिसमें मेरा यही प्रयास है कि भारतीय संस्कृति एवं ज्ञान प्रणाली का समुचित अध्ययन कर उसके भाव को, उसमें निहित संदेश को आपके सामने, वर्ल्ड सोसाइटी के सामने प्रस्तुत करूं, क्योंकि आज पूरी दुनिया में एक नहीं कई कारणों से अनेक प्रकार के संकट के बादल मंडरा रहे हैं। खूनी युद्ध चल रहे हैं परिवार में, समाज में, राष्ट्र में और पूरे विश्व में। पूरी दुनिया आज एक सोसाइटल मॉडल ऑफ लिविंग ढूंढ रही है, जिसे अपनाकर वो शांति और सौहार्द के साथ जी सके। लेकिन अफसोस, दुनिया के पास ऐसा कोई मॉडल नहीं है। लेकिन चिंता की कोई बात नहीं है, क्योंकि भारत के पास ऐसा सोसाइटल मॉडल ऑफ लिविंग है जिसे अपनाकर हम पूरे विश्व में शांति और उन्नति का मार्ग प्रशस्त कर सकते हैं। और उसी मॉडल को हम आज भारतीय ज्ञान परंपरा के रूप में देख रहे हैं। तो चलते हैं कार्यक्रम के अगले सेगमेंट हॉल ऑफ फेम की ओर, जहां हम मिलेंगे एक ऐसी शख्सियत से जो वाकई समाज के लिए एक रियल रोल मॉडल हैं, अपने उत्कृष्ट एवं सराहनीय कार्यों के चलते। लेकिन हम में से अधिकांश लोग उनकी उपलब्धि या अचीवमेंट से आज भी बेखबर हैं। नमस्कार दोस्तों, आज के हॉल ऑफ फेम में हमारे साथ एक बहुत ही खास मेहमान हैं, जिनके जीवन से जुड़े कई रोचक तथ्य हैं। इससे पहले कि हम उन रोचक तथ्यों को जाने उन्हीं की जुबानी, मैं चाहूंगा कि सबसे पहले मैं आपको अपने विशेष अतिथि का एक संक्षिप्त परिचय दे दूं। वैसे तो हमारे आज के विशेष अतिथि किसी परिचय या पहचान के मोहताज नहीं हैं, लेकिन औपचारिकता का निर्वहन करते हुए मुझे ये बताते हुए अपार हर्ष की अनुभूति हो रही है कि लाइफ एक्सप्रेस के इस हफ्ते के हॉल ऑफ फेम में हमारे साथ जो विशेष अतिथि ऑनलाइन जुड़े हैं, वे हैं वर्ल्ड के लॉन्गेस्ट सर्विंग वाइस चांसलर। जी हाँ, सही सुना आपने। हमारे आज के विशेष अतिथि भारत ही नहीं, पूरे विश्व के पहले कुलपति हैं, जिन्होंने कुलपति के रूप में सबसे अधिक समय तक शिक्षा जगत में अपनी सेवा देते हुए अपने नाम विश्व कीर्तिमान स्थापित किया है। जी हाँ, मैं बात कर रहा हूं परम आदरणीय प्रोफेसर डॉक्टर श्री प्रीतम बाबू शर्मा जी का, जिनका जन्म 4 अप्रैल 1948 को मध्य प्रदेश के विदिशा के खमताला नामक एक छोटे से गांव में एक सामान्य पर शिक्षित परिवार में हुआ था। बचपन से ही अपनी विलक्षण प्रतिभा एवं उत्कृष्ट कार्यों के बदौलत उन्होंने समाज में अपनी एक अलग पहचान बना ली थी। यदि हम उनके शैक्षणिक जीवन पर प्रकाश डालें तो हम पाते हैं कि उन्होंने अपनी प्रारंभिक, माध्यमिक तथा उच्च शिक्षा अव्वल दर्जे से सफलतापूर्वक पूरी की। Talking of his academic journey, we find Professor P.B. Sharma graduated with a gold medal in mechanical engineering in 1969 from Samrat Ashok Technological Institute. More importantly, he received his doctoral degree from the University of Birmingham, UK in 1978. Starting his professional career from IIT Delhi as Professor of Mechanical Engineering, Professor Sharma has made several contributions to Indian and world academia, not only in the areas of aero engineering technology, but also in power plant engineering, new and renewable energy resources, and knowledge and innovation management. With his relentless pursuit of excellence in academia, Professor Sharma is globally known for promoting world quality education, research, innovation, and entrepreneurship. Professor Sharma has also been the founder vice chancellor of Delhi Technological University, a former director of Delhi College of Engineering, founder vice chancellor of Rajiv Gandhi Technological University, former president of Engineering Science Division of Indian Science Congress, former chairman of Indian Society of Mechanical Engineering, and vice chairman of World Confederation of Productivity Sciences India section, a fellow of World Academia of Productivity Sciences, fellow of Institution of Engineers India, fellow of Aeronautical Society of India, and a fellow of Indian Society of Technological University ISTE. He has been the chairman of Central Counseling Board of MHRD and also an expert member of the apex body Central Advisory Board of Education CABE of the Government of India. And currently, Professor Sharma is serving as Vice Chancellor of Amity University, Haryana. And I should not forget to add that Professor Sharma has been felicitated with more than 59 prestigious academic awards at national and international levels for his academic, social, and spiritual contributions to world society and mankind at large. Thus, there are so many accolades and achievements to his name, but due to paucity of time, I can tell you in a nutshell that he is a blend of modernity with antiquity. He is a blend of knowledge and wisdom. His multi-talents and remarkable achievements and contributions to society make him a unique human being. For me, he is not simply a human, rather a superhuman, blessed with all types of righteous qualities and human values. And pleasure is solely mine in welcoming one and only the great legendary icon of academia, Professor Dr. Sri Pritam Babu Sharma ji. Namaskar, sir.
नमस्कार प्रोफेसर झा, थैंक यू वेरी मच फॉर योर वेरी काइंड वर्ड्स। आपने तो मेरे बारे में बहुत कुछ कहा, मैं आपका धन्यवाद करता हूँ दैट यू हैव सच ए हाई रिगार्ड फॉर मी, ए हम्बल सर्वेंट ऑफ द ह्यूमैनिटी and an ardent supporter of the science and technology for institutional, national, as well as global development. I consider my great privilege and honor to be connected to you now that the importance of higher education as well as research and innovation is being acknowledged as one of the most important pillar of strength for nation's development. We are in a highly opportune time in our own country now that we have a positive environment for developing our great nation as Vikshit Bharat of our dream, where not only the economic progress and prosperity, but the well-being of the people, interest of the environment, and of course, India championing peace, harmony, and happiness all around is in fact an agenda for higher education as well as research and innovations in our university. I feel greatly uh, honored to be with you and would be very happy to share with you some of my thoughts on the
Yes, sir,
present and the
definitely. We shall take up your thoughts. But first of all, on behalf of my entire Life Express team and on behalf of my intellectual viewers, I extend a very warm welcome and sincere gratitude to you for your gracious presence in Life Express. Well, sir, as we know from your rich academic profile, that you have served Indian academia and world science fraternity for more than 4 decades in highly responsible and dignified positions. तो जीवन के इतने लंबे अनुभव के बाद खासकर शिक्षा जगत में how do you look at three things: A, life; B, education; and C, science? And we would also like to know whether the purposes of life, education, and science are being served appropriately or not. क्योंकि मेरी मान्यता है कि इन तीनों में से किसी भी उद्देश्य की पूर्ति नहीं हो रही है हमारे भारतीय ज्ञान परंपरा के अनुसार। आप जीवन की ही बात कर लें, ऋग्वेद के 10वें अध्याय के 53वें सूक्त के 6ठे ऋक में जीवन के उद्देश्य का वर्णन है और वो है मनुर्भव जनया दैव्यं जन्म, अर्थात बी अ सेंसिबल ह्यूमन बीइंग एंड क्रिएट अ ह्यूमन ऑफ डिवाइन क्वालिटीज। लेकिन आज के औसतन मानव तो ठीक इसके विपरीत है। बाकी हम आपके दृष्टिकोण समझेंगे इन तीनों पहलुओं पर, लाइफ, एजुकेशन एंड साइंस। ओवर टू यू सर।
Personally, I feel you have touched the right point. Today, we are in a position to look back to our great ancient spiritual, philosophical, and cultural heritage and find, in fact, from there the meaning and purpose of education as well as the meaning and purpose of life. We find that the meaning and purpose of life was not limited to acquiring wealth or attaining eminence, or for that reason, rising to the citadel of fame and occupying chairs of responsibility or power. The basic purpose of life was to elevate oneself to the level of divine by his honest and sincere service to the humanity, to Mother Nature, and through this to the God Almighty. And it is in that respect the education was considered to be a highly important aspect of one's preparation for leading a life full of divinity, of divine bliss, good health, and happiness all around. A person is supposed to be educated only if he is in a position to nurture in him the nobility for which human beings are really meant for. We are here on planet Mother Earth for a very important purpose, and that is to ensure that this vast creation of God Almighty is further supported and nurtured by our capabilities that we create in us through education, and to ensure that the world becomes a better place, not only to live for humans, but also for all creation that is around. Let the bird sing happily in the morning. Let the peacock dance and celebrate the beauty of nature and diversity of nature. Let the seasons of nature bestow their divine bliss on the humanity as well as the creatures all around. The world is supposed to be nurtured with fullest of devotion and commitment from the humanity which rises to the levels of education and eminence. The very purpose of education was to prepare ourselves to lead a life full of divine bliss and happiness, as I said, in service of the humanity, in service of our great nation, as well as in service of the vast humanity all around. Our forefathers were very clear that the purpose of education is not merely attaining a great career, as it has become, unfortunately, during the last 5, 6 decades that we have seen in the modern world. When I grew up as a child at that time, I found the people were not having as many degrees as we have today, but they were highly knowledgeable as well as far more sincere and dedicated for the purpose for which they existed. They understood the balance between the work life as well as, in fact, their personal life. And they were able to integrate the dimensions of spirituality, the dimensions of bhakti, the dimensions of jnana into their work life. For them, the work was worship, no matter what it was. All level of work was considered to be an offering to God Almighty. And that is why we were able to see India of great happiness in those days. People were happy, healthy, and surely devoted to the cause of service to God Almighty and Mother Nature. I remember in my childhood, people were so damn healthy that they were uh, enjoying a good life, a healthy life of 100 years. Many of them, in fact, my own mother lived a life full of divine bliss and good health for good 101 years without ever going to the hospital for any treatment whatsoever. She never required any support from the modern medicines because she thought that our forefathers have taught us enough to understand the value and worth of happiness and good health coming from leading a righteous life, understanding the value and worth of immunity created by leading a sattvic life based on our vegetarian diet full of nourishment, maintaining the goodness of our metabolism, and keeping ourselves fully inspired to work and serve the humanity with delight. And it is this kind of commitment of righteousness, honesty, and integrity that made, in fact, the people of that time truly the great leaders who were contributing to the humanity at large their share of happiness and good health. Unfortunately, over the years, we found that education has become now a major pillar of strength for attaining great career prospects. This shift from education for man making and education for preparation for life towards education for career, unfortunately, has become more pronounced after the years of globalization of our economy in 1991. And we find today that people come to education primarily for the purpose of getting great jobs or for that reason becoming rich or became attaining chairs of responsibility and so on. That was not so earlier. India was great when education was considered to be a major preparation for leading a life full of happiness, good health, in service of God Almighty and service of humanity. And it is this departure, in my opinion, that has been caused almost after the Second World War, when we recognize the power of science and power of technology, creating great capability to empower nations, to have great strength to overpower others. The whole idea of education, especially science and technology education, shifted towards enriching industrial revolution. And even today, we find that the major purpose of science and technology education is to create industrial development and growth of the kind that we see all around. The basic purpose of science and technology for the service of the humanity, maintaining this beauty of the diversity around, and also to ensure and lead a happy life has been lost. It was not really so. I can say this with my own understanding
You
of
are
science.
absolutely right, sir. You are absolutely right that there is a kind of paradigm shift from, as you said, man making to wealth making. और अगर हम वैदिक ट्रेडिशन भी देखते हैं तो according to our Vedic tradition, the purpose of education was sa vidya ya vimuktaye. Okay, so the purpose of education was to liberate us from sufferings, but today's education is multiplying our sufferings. और आपने भी इस बात को माना है, कई अपने भाषणों में मैंने आपको सुना है कि today's education is creating an army of degree holders, as you said, not a human of values and righteousness. And this is the reason the world is becoming unlivable. And as a result, I feel, or I would like to ask you that do you think we are moving in the right direction with the present mode of education? क्या आप मौजूदा शिक्षा नीति से संतुष्ट हैं? यदि हैं तो कैसे? और यदि ना तो क्यों? या आपको यदि ऐसा लगता है कि कोई बड़े परिवर्तन होने चाहिए आज की शिक्षा व्यवस्था में, तो उसके ऊपर भी थोड़ा संक्षेप में प्रकाश डालें। जी।
मैं समझता हूँ कि शिक्षा नीति में तो कोई कमी नहीं है, लेकिन जिस नियत के साथ शिक्षा नीति को सही मायने में हमें implement करना है to create an army of people, both within our country as well as around, and grow that eminence of our great spiritual human civilization of which we have been so proud of. Today, the great opportunity exists. This whole idea of creating layers of capable people who will enrich the industrial and economic development is absolutely important. But at the same time, we cannot lose sight from the fact that the development of the kind that we are causing today or we have witnessed in the past has come at a great cost. And this cost is cost of environmental degradation, climate change, nature fury, rapid depletion of natural resources. We consumed as much as natural resources in the last 5, 6 decades, which our forefathers could not consume even in few millenniums, in fact. I remember when I was born, all the rivers of India were rivers of nectar. अमृत की नदियां थी ये हमारे पहाड़ हमारे जंगल they were having tremendous amount of rich flora and fauna, and our natural wealth in fact was such that it was a promise of uh, making heaven on earth. Unfortunately, we have exploited it mercilessly and mindlessly, madlessly, I would say, utilizing the capabilities of our science and technology. So question is, what can be done now? When I was born at that time, you would not believe, rich were rich, but poor were no poor. Rich were rich, but poor were no poor. Rich were rich because, of course, they had the capability of doing businesses and running great organizations and creating layers of wealth. But rich were rich, but poor were no poor because the quality of air which was freely able to rich and poor was, of course, pranavayu. And the quality of water which was also available to rich and poor was, in fact, nothing less than amrit. And the quality of food was even better for the poor compared to the rich. They were using in those days what you call millets today and keeping great health actually at that time. And in fact, I would say rich were rich, poor were no poor, and both were happy and both were healthy. Now look at today. Rich are rich, poor are ultra poor, but both are unhappy and both are unhealthy. So where have we gone? I think we have gone into a direction where neither the rich nor the poor are happy nor healthy. The question is, what can be done now? A lot can be done, in my opinion. Science and technology has great capabilities to not only solve the problems and challenges that we have today on our doorstep, but also to promise a bright and blissful future for the whole humanity. That's the power of science. But this power of science and might of technology has to be utilized with care and caution. And this caution has been echoed as early as Madame Curie's time. She is on record to say that it is the spiritual strength of science that will eradicate poverty, hunger, diseases, and also, in fact, create the layers of happiness and eradicate sufferings and bar. But question is, have we understood the meaning of the spiritual strength of science? We have understood the physical strength of science and the kind of capabilities it provides both for creation as well as devastation. We have not understood the spiritual power of science that creates capabilities to serve the vast humanity, to wipe out hunger, to wipe out poverty, to create millions and millions of jobs for the young people, to engage them blissfully into something more creative and more meaningful and productive in service of the humanity, and at the same time retaining the layers of happiness, divine bliss, and good health for all. Just imagine the health for all cannot be achievable merely, in my opinion, by giving them the insurance for treatment. It can only be achievable by creating in them an abiding faith of leading a life where they get up early, do yoga, do meditation, commit themselves to a sattvic life, enjoy the food which is free from adulteration, enjoy and breathe good air quality that should be freely available both for rich and poor. Let them also have the bliss and availability of the water, which is in fact the nectar, This is then only you can have health for all. You cannot assure health for all merely by building great hospitals or making more doctors available. The very purpose of health care in our country was not treatment of diseases. It was creating immunity in you, in every individual, so that the diseases are negated. And that is why my mother could live for 100 years, because she has an inbuilt immunity in her to negate the diseases and viruses of the kind that were otherwise floating around in the society. I should not say this, but even people like me never had any fever in my life. And it's primarily because of inbuilt immunity that is created on the strength of your spiritual convictions and power, leading a sattvic life, commit yourself to the service of the humanity, and do this with utmost humility and simplicity. And it is this message I think we need to percolate to all at all level, to all those who are engaged seriously in science and technology pursuit today. Today, the power of science and might of technology is immense, and we need to utilize it for a good cause. We need to utilize it for creating mass entrepreneurship so that everybody is engaged in something more useful and blissful, more productive, so that he
Right.
or she is able to understand the meaning and purpose of blissful engagement. And we need
Right.
to also use the power of science and might of technology to ensure that not only we confront the challenges that we have today, but also build a bright and green future for the entire humanity. India is in a particular
Yes.
position in this respect, and I would
Very
like.
thoughtful of you, sir. Very thoughtful of you. Very thoughtful of you. Uh, but कुछ मैं आपका मतलब स्पष्टीकरण चाहूंगा एक बात को लेकर के, जैसा कि आपने कहा कि मौजूदा शिक्षा नीति से उतना असंतोष नहीं है आपको, लेकिन अ, जैसा कि हम देख पा रहे हैं कि आज का एजुकेशन, today's education seems to be little, or I will say highly paradoxical, for the reason that on the one hand we are trying to regain our glorious academic past of Nalanda time. On the other hand, we are still the copier of Macaulay model of education. In a sense, we are not setting any benchmark to be the global knowledge superpower. बड़ा दुख होता है शिक्षा नीति का ये दोहरापन देखकर। एक तरफ आप भारतीय ज्ञान परंपरा, भारतीय दर्शन, गुरुकुल मॉडल ऑफ एजुकेशन की बात करते हैं, और दूसरी ओर वेस्ट के बेस्ट प्रैक्टिसेस को अपना बेंचमार्क बना रहे हैं। सो इफ यू सी इंडिया बिकमिंग अ ग्लोबल गुरु और नॉलेज सुपर पावर, या हम एक ग्लोबल गुरु या ग्लोबल चेला बन के रह जाएंगे इस तरह से? प्लीज
आपने
रिफ्लेक्ट ऑन दिस सर।
आपने बहुत ही उपयुक्त विषय को छेड़ा है, और मैं इस बात को आपसे सहमत हूँ कि अगर हम वेस्टर्न वर्ल्ड की बेस्ट प्रैक्टिसेस को, जिनका कि मेन पर्पज है कैरियर, जिनका का मेन पर्पज है इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ, जिनका कि मेन पर्पज है टू बूस्ट द इंडस्ट्रियल प्रोडक्शन, even in areas which are causing great devastation, including the science and technology for defense technology and other services. Naturally, we will not go to the to make our nation a great global superpower. But on the other hand, India can lead the world in respect of science and technology that shall create, as I said, the good health for all, as well as happiness all around and blissful engagement of the people. How could that be done? We need to go much earlier than Nalanda and Taxila. You have to go back to Sandipni Ashram. You have to go back to the ashram of Swami Vishwamitra. You have to go back to the ashramas and gurukuls of Maharishi Bharadwaj and Maharishi Atri. And you will find in those days, science and technology was an integral part of our cultivation of goodness as well as spiritual enlightenment. And that is why the ashramas of Sandipni as well as Swami Maharishi Vishwamitra, Maharishi Bharadwaj and Atri, they were nurturing science and technology capability for creating, in fact, the layers of prosperity, happiness, as well as sustainability together. This was, in fact, done in the ashramas which were called Gurukuls at that time. Here, the work was worship. We currently, somehow or other, in our universities in India, have gone along the Western model where we thought that knowledge and knowledge alone is the sufficient condition for creating, in fact, the society and the humanity of the kind which we wish to create. Knowledge alone is not the sufficient condition for creating a blissful world. Along with science, along with knowledge, you need to create capabilities, behavior, conduct and character of the kind that the world humanity requires today. And that calls for looking at what the Gurukuls were doing at that time. There, they were ensuring that all those who come to the university, they are not only taught and through interaction or through knowledge in the classroom, but engaged in work activity to nurture in them the feeling of equality of man, a feeling of that no work is small and no work is good or no work is bad. Everybody was doing Shramdan, everybody was doing cultivation within the campuses. They were all creating what they require, in fact, to lead a happy life. I ask you, why can't the universities in India be given a charter that all the universities, campuses, should be self-sufficient in terms of their energy needs? They can be. By giving this, they will lead by example as far as green energy technologies are concerned. They can establish within their own university the great solar power and also utilize the bioenergy to the extent of making their own campuses self-sufficient in energy. They can be self-sufficient in water also by doing great water harvesting within the campus and also retreating entire wastewater and reutilizing it for a variety of purposes. They can be self-sufficient in milk production within their own university. They can be nurturing layers of natural farming within their own university. A student could be then gaining the first-hand experience of how to contribute to the growth of a society which will be, in true sense, Atmanirbhar. And it is in this respect, universities have to lead by example. Universities have to lead by example in discovering the meaning and purpose of education more profound than what we are doing today. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is clearly said that nahi jnanena shadrasham pavitra mahi vidyate. Knowledge, there is nothing more pure and pious than cultivation of knowledge on this planet, Mother Earth. But it also says that Atma Sanyam Yogagane Jubhyate Gyan Deeptam. Therefore, the importance of self-discipline. Let no one tell me to do this and not do this. Let there be an abiding faith in me to conduct my own personal as well as professional life based on self-discipline. It is that kind of imbibement that we need to create in our people. And we need also to create in them the capabilities by which they can understand the meaning much better than today of the Atmanirbhar Bharat that we wish to create as Vikshit Bharat of our dream. And that can only be done when the university lead by example in sustainability and being Atmanirbhar for the energy need, Atmanirbhar for the
Very,
water
very,
need.
very thoughtful of you, sir. Very thoughtful of you, sir. You are talking of university leading by example. But here I have a pertinent question, sir. That
You and I both belong to a university where we are
yes,
leading by example in energy security, in water security. We have organic farming just from my window. I can see the organic farming within my own university, the fruit orchard within the university, the high level of biodiversity, dancing
absolutely.
peacocks, 44 varieties of butterfly, the entire wastewater being retreated and recycled and reused. It is this kind of leadership I want all universities in India really to do, especially those who have large campuses, all IITs, all central universities, all NITs, Indian Institute of Science, ICER, and all great campuses that we have, even of the private universities, they can be made Atmanirbhar in true sense and lead by example. And you will
Right.
find a sea change then. You will find a sea change in the mindset of both the teachers as well as the students who will be graduating out of these universities. Please.
Right. But there is a serious concern here, sir. There is a serious concern that why none of the Indian universities figure in top 100 universities of the world. Why a country that was the epicenter of knowledge for the whole world at one point of time is today struggling to figure in the top universities of the world? Who or what is responsible for this? Kindly reflect on this, sir.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, I'm of the opinion that India could figure in the top 10 universities of the world, provided, as I said, it leads by example in areas that others are finding difficult to understand. India can lead in sustainability, leading by example, in fact, from the university. You have to configure universities as universities not only of today, but university of tomorrow. But the world is still trying to understand. India is in a fortunate position to understand the importance of the Gurukuls of the kind that our ancestors had and reconfigure our great universities along that line. I would be one of those who would propagate this idea of university leading by example with head, heart, and soul on sustainability. And you will find that India and universities will then go on the top. Even our own university, when we competed globally in respect of the layers of sustainability through the impact ranking, we were much higher compared to many great universities of the world because we are doing that vital service of water security, energy security, waste management, and imbibing, in fact, and abiding faith, understanding the value and worth of living and learning in harmony with nature. It is these kind of initiative, in my opinion, we must nurture in our university. You will find that once we are able to tailor our research and innovation power towards nurturing the layers of sustainability for the world tomorrow, that would require circular economy to be more pronounced compared to industry 4.0 or 5.0 as we are watching today. You will find India will lead by example. India will provide leadership to the world in that respect. Then India's knowledge power would become, in fact, the superpower for the whole world. The world will then understand that the education is not merely a means for great industrial or economic prosperity. It is a valid means for creating a happy, healthy, and blissful humanity that lives a life of divine in one's own time and touches the altars of eminence by the glow of the great knowledge power, the power of science as well as might of technology. India would then be, in true sense, the ambassador of the new world, where the peace, harmony, and happiness and good health of people would be the hallmark, alongside with, of course, great economic power, which would otherwise also be cultivated. Our forefathers were great in terms of prosperity, but prosperity alone does not ensure happiness and good health unless you take on board the righteous conduct, righteous behavior, and also, in fact, a sattvic life and serve unconditionally to the cause of sustainability. Look at the concept of aparigraha, what we call in modern terms responsible consumption, which our forefathers practiced as a part and parcel of leading a happy life. That was an assurance of ensuring that not only you are happy, but people around you are happy. All creatures are happy because you are conducting your life based on responsible consumption. Today, responsible consumption, responsible behavior, responsible global citizenship, responsible citizenship of a nation becomes as important as the layers of prosperity that we otherwise create through economic goals and objectives. Let the GDP not be judged merely on the levels as it is today. Let it also be taken into account the cost it is imparting on the environment and also on inflicting, in fact, the damage to the health of the people. Once you look at that, you will find that tomorrow's GDP tomorrow's capabilities of the nation will not be judged on the basis of the GDP as today. Tomorrow, the nation's greatness and its strength will be judged on how capable it is to create the layers of engagement of people into good health and blissful life, in fact, and how responsibly they conduct themselves to serve the cause of sustainability. That would be the parameter. India could lead, in fact, from the front in these areas and mesmerize the whole world that we are in a position to do this better because our forefathers, in fact, who run this nation for millions of the years, were able to lead the world on the strength of their conviction to sustainability, to righteousness, as well as the self-discipline that nurtured the layers of peace, harmony, and happiness for the human society, not only here, but also they were able to impact the happiness and good health and prosperity of great many nations with whom India was, in fact, in contact at that time. In my opinion, India at that time was the world leader, both in terms of the economic prosperity as well as in terms of sustainability and happiness and good health. Time to cause major departure in our approach to higher education, research, and innovation is now that the positive environment exists in our nation. Without sacrificing the economic goals that we set up for ourselves, we can also simultaneously aspire to achieve net zero emissions much earlier than we have promised. We can attain them by 2047. By the time we wish to become the Viksit Bharat, we can also ensure that we lead the world in terms of sustainability and also become the ambassadors of peace and righteousness, in fact, and lead the world community in that area. These are the kind of imperatives I personally feel require major departures in our approach of education. And India can do it, it should do it, and it should do it for not only the goodness and good interest of its own people, but the interest of the humanity at large. Because we are perhaps the only people in the world who have great conviction and commitment to understand that this whole world is one and one family. Our forefathers have echoed this sentiment loud and clear, Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam, and time to serve the whole humanity and lead it by example has come now that the India is in a position to deliver the promise of our great founding fathers, even in the modern age of science and technology.
राइट राइट। तो सर, आप तो वैसे भी मतलब यू हैव बीन एडवोकेटर ऑफ पीस, और आप एक बहुत बड़े शिक्षाविद भी हैं, और एट द सेम टाइम आप एक साइंटिस्ट भी हैं। तो मेरा ये सवाल जो होगा अभी, आई होप माय क्वेश्चन विल नॉट ऑफेंड यू, लेकिन ये एक हार्श रियलिटी हम लोगों के लिए ऐसा प्रतीत होता है, एंड इट हैज बीन ऑफन सेन दैट साइंस हैज परहैप्स कॉज्ड more harm than good by inventing self-destructive items of mass destruction, like making and using not only atom bomb in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, but also by using lethal missiles in ongoing wars in Israel, Syria, Ukraine, and many other countries. Even we have seen like man-made coronavirus. So my question here is, can't science or scientists think of creating a human lab that could help mankind live in harmony with nature and fellow human beings with a sense of coexistence and cooperation rather than throat cutting competitions? Over to you, sir.
I go back to what I said, that somehow or other the scientists of the world, including the technologists, have surrendered to the designs and desires of the industries and corporate. They need to come out of that phobia. We are not here to serve the interest of industries or corporate. We are here to serve the interest of only one and only one, and that is God Almighty and His creation, which means the entire effort of science and technology must be to nurture the layers of good health, happiness, as well as prosperity together. Now, this does not mean we shall not support the industries and corporate. We shall support them, but at the same time ensure that the layers of sustainability are inbuilt into our industrial growth and advancement. We cannot allow the industries to grow by polluting our air or destroying our water body or our rivers. We need to ensure that the investment that we make on our industrial development also simultaneously protect the interest of people as well as of the planet. It is doable in my opinion. And today the capabilities of science and technology can be developed in the four walls of the universities and in R&D organizations by engaging the scientific mind and technology innovative minds to develop science and technology for the new world in which we want to enter from here and now. It requires a departure in our approach. We have used science largely for creation and multiplying production or improving productivity per se, or improving turnovers and profits. We have to now understand that the purpose of science and technology cannot be restricted to production and profit and turnover. We need to now bring people and planet also into the consideration in understanding the value and worth of productivity science and also the science of industries. And by doing this, we will bring in the consideration for the people and planet into our entire scientific and technological pursuit. It can be done, and it should be done for the larger interest and collective interest of the humanity at large. So this way, Science has, to be more frank, I must say that science and technology must liberate itself from the clutches of the industries and corporate to which it has surrendered from the Second World War onward. It was not so before the Second World War.
Right.
That's why Madame Curie has said that the spiritual strength of science alone would be able to wipe out the poverty, hunger, sufferings from the face of Mother Earth. That can only be possible. Why not the scientists make a resolve that we want to create a disease-free world? I mean, when I said that we should have cancer-free world in our, my scientist said cancer-free cannot be possible. Why it should not be possible? Why the disease-free world not be possible? Why not our science and scientists give a larger uh, objective of creating science of tomorrow that will ensure that the diseases of the kind that are currently prevalent because of our madness, they are wiped out, and we are in a position to focus our healthcare as the well-being of the humanity, creating in them the inbuilt immunity so that they live a happy life and healthy life of a good 100 years or even more that our forefathers have promised. Jivem Sardasatam was not a wishful thinking. They even said Chakshem Sardasatam. For 100 years, your eyes should be able to see clearly the lotus feet of God Almighty and look at the beauties and bliss of nature. Your ears should be able to listen to the divine music for 100 years without the use of any artificial gadgets of the kind that you require today. And it was this kind of promise that is to be delivered, in my opinion, on the strength of new science and new technology innovations that are required for the new world in which now we are committing ourselves to. This new world has to be based on the models of sustainable and inclusive development of the kind which Viksit Bharat has already promised for itself. And we need to move in this with great conviction and commitment of the kind that is expected from people of knowledge and people of letters. Let the scientists of the scientific academies of our great nation not remain silent spectators. I do not see any advocacy being done by either National Academy of Science or National Academy of Engineering or Technology. Why should they not? Why should they not come out openly and present before us an agenda that our universities and institutions and R&D organizations must pursue to create that world of bliss, happiness, and good health that we are promising ourselves to? Why should they not come out and clearly chalk out the strategic framework for development of new science and technology that will create the India of our dream? Why should we leave it to people from outside India to come and tell us? Why should our own academies not really do this leadership of the kind which is expected from them? I want my scientists of the nation to be far more devoted and committed to create India of their own dream for the goodness of the humanity at large. And it is this departure that is expected from the people of great knowledge, which India has in great number in our scientific institutions and organizations. There's no dearth of scientists in India. Believe it or not, today we are sitting on a great gold mine of opportunity to harness the great scientific power that we already have within our own country. Only question is, can it be provided the right kind of direction and orientation that it requires to create India of our dream? And it is this charter, in my opinion, that is not being served at the moment. Our own science policy for the nation, for example, has not come out for many years. Why should we not put on table with in clear, bold terms and also with conviction, take the cause of science for nature, science for life, science for nature, science for nurturing great layers of sustainability, science for making circular economy a great success, and science and technology creating millions and millions of jobs on the strength of mass entrepreneurship of the kind which our forefathers have pursued in the past to ensure that 1.45 billion people that we are today, 17% of the world population, are able to push the layers of prosperity and economic growth not only to just $30 trillion economy of the kind that we are promising ourselves to by 2047, but even higher. Why not think of even $50 trillion economy by 2047 and net zero compliance also by that time, by nurturing the layers of sustainability in all aspects of our developmental goals and strategies? It is that kind of departure, in my opinion, that is so much badly needed. And if we make the corrective actions right now, we have just enough time to achieve our our goals of leading the world on the layers of prosperity, happiness, good health for all, on the strength of our conviction of science for nature and science for humanity and science for people, it is possible and it is doable.
Absolutely, absolutely. बहुत ही अच्छा आपने कहा सर और I'm sure that your each and every word will go a long way. और जैसा आपने कहा कि साइंस को आज डिजीज फ्री वर्ल्ड बनाने के ऊपर सोचनी चाहिए। सिमिलरली एक और चीज मुझे जो लगता है कि हमें या जितने भी शिक्षाविद हैं, वी शुड आल्सो थिंक ऑफ क्रिएटिंग अ वर्ल्ड जो कि मैं कह सकता हूं कि अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट फ्री वर्ल्ड, unemployment free world. So because the speed with which our world is changing today, we cannot say what does the future hold for us. The career flights that our students are taking today will not necessarily land them at the right airport 5 years or 10 years down the line. So in this scenario, what would you like to say on future readiness of our students for future jobs? Please, sir.
मैं समझता हूँ कि एक उज्ज्वल भविष्य की कामना हमारे देश ने की है और उसको साकार करने के लिए हम आप सबकी जिम्मेदारी है, जो यूनिवर्सिटी एजुकेशन में है, जो साइंस और टेक्नोलॉजी एजुकेशन में है, जो क्रिएटिव और इनोवेटिव एंडेवर्स में जुटे हुए हैं, उन सबको मिलकर के एक ऐसे भारत की कल्पना जो हमारे सामने है, जहाँ की गुड हेल्थ फॉर ऑल इज ए रियलिटी, वेयर द गुड हेल्थ ऑफ एनवायरनमेंट is not only a desirable feature but an essential condition for development and advancement of the nation, where totally unemployment free country where everybody has blissful engagement in something more productive to understand the meaning and purpose of his life and is able to manifest his or her potential fully. That kind of India we need to really keep in front of us. And to do this, major departures are necessary, in my opinion. As I said, reconfigure our university, redesign our universities to lead by example in terms of not only the quality of knowledge, but also capabilities, creating both science and technology capabilities, but also character and behavior of the kind that is expected from the learned quarter. Allow them to manifest their creativity and innovativeness in plenty that we have. Make India, in fact, a land of innovation infinite. Let India and the Bharat becomes, in fact, the world leader in nurturing the, the levels of commitment to peace, harmony, and righteousness all around. In fact, and India can do this. And who else other than the universities, who are the repository of great wisdom, and also the faith of the people, can do it. In my opinion, the right time for the universities to rise to this great challenge has come. Let the scientific community of the nation not run short in its commitment to rise above the career prospects and contribute effectively for the growth and development of India of our own dream, the Viksit Bharat that we wish to achieve. Let the layers of prosperity be inbuilt with the layers of sustainability, creating humanity that has an abiding faith in responsible consumption and at the same time righteous and sattvic behavior. And it is that kind of India that we wish to create on the strength of the people and our leadership that we have in our country. Thank you so much.
बहुत ही अच्छा, बहुत ही अच्छा। आपने बहुत ही अच्छा एक अपने सपनों के भारत का चित्र प्रस्तुत किया है हम सब के लिए। And with that, we are coming to the end of our interaction. And as usual, I will also request you, sir, to kindly give a message of peace and progress to mankind at large so that we could create a better human, better society, better nation, better planet for a better tomorrow. Over to you, sir.
To make this world a happy and healthy abode for the global humanity, it would be absolutely essential for us to understand that mere absence of war is not the sufficient condition for peace. We all have to contribute our share of responsible behavior. Each one of us have to be ambassadors of peace and harmony, and each one of us need to give our very best in service of our own nation, our own people, but at the same time in service of the global humanity of which we are a part. And we have to echo the sentiment that today the entire humanity is one family. And this whole idea of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam that our forefathers have put before us has to be the guiding principle for nurturing a world of peace, prosperity, happiness, and sustainability. Let us all join together in creating this bright and blissful future for the whole humanity. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. And we are immensely grateful to you for your scholarly presence with us today. और शिक्षा जगत में आपके उत्कृष्ट और सराहनीय कार्यों के लिए लाइफ एक्सप्रेस की जूरी ने आपके लिए एक अवार्ड की घोषणा की है और वो अवार्ड है लाइफ एक्सप्रेस आइकन ऑफ इंडिया अवार्ड, जिसे आप प्रतिष्ठित भारतीय सम्मान भी कह सकते हैं। और आपके इस उपलब्धि पर मैं आपको अपने टीम समेत समस्त इंटेलेक्चुअल व्यूअर्स की ओर से ढेरों बधाई कहूंगा। हार्टिएस्ट कांग्रेचुलेशन सर, and God willing we shall meet again in some other forum. So thank you for connecting with us today. Thank you so much sir. Thank you.
बहुत बहुत आपका धन्यवाद। ईश्वर आपको चिरायु करे और आप स्वस्थ रहें, प्रसन्न रहें और हमारे देश के लिए, शिक्षा जगत के लिए हमेशा मार्गदर्शन करते रहें, ऐसी हमारी प्रार्थना है। Thank you Professor Jha for the opportunity given to me to share with you my thoughts on the subject so important for each one of us. Thank you. Jai Shri Ram.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
LXP Icon of India Award is proudly presented to Professor Preetham Babu Sharma for his exemplary contributions to Indian academia on 10th March 2025.
नमस्कार दोस्तों, हमेशा की तरह आज के आई के सेगमेंट में सबसे पहले हम एक ह्यूमन वैल्यू सीखेंगे और उसके बाद हम एक भारत के पारंपरिक मान्यता या ट्रेडिशनल बिलीफ के वैज्ञानिक कारण को भी समझेंगे। लेकिन पहले हम बात करेंगे ह्यूमन वैल्यू की। पिछला ह्यूमन वैल्यू जो हमने हिंदी अल्फ़ाबेट के जरिए सीखा था वो था फूलो फलो, और हिंदी का अगला लेटर या अक्षर है ब। अब आप सोच रहे होंगे कि ब से क्या हो सकता है। ब से जिस मानव मूल्य का मैंने चयन किया है वो है ब्राह्मण। Brahman is a Sanskrit word that refers to the highest or ultimate reality of knowledge that never changes because that is beyond time and space. In other words, Brahman is an entity that not only grows but also helps other entities to grow. It is an eternal source of everything. The notion of Brahman makes you realize that there is no discrimination among people regardless of their gender, race, ethnicity, religion, or nationality. It is unseen, but it is present in all living and non-living entities, every molecule and every atom. It is the essence of everything that you experience. In the context of yoga, Brahman is a state that a yogi hopes to reach through yogic practices such as asanas, pranayam, mantras and meditation. एक महत्वपूर्ण बात मैं यहाँ जोड़ना चाहूँगा कि ब्राह्मण शब्द को ना ही हिंदू गॉड ऑफ क्रिएशन ब्रह्मा और ना ही इंडियन कास्ट सिस्टम के अंतर्गत ब्राह्मण वर्ण से जोड़े। द प्रोफाउंड वैदिक स्टेटमेंट अहम ब्रह्मास्मि का अर्थ ये नहीं है कि मैं ब्राह्मण हूँ या मैं ब्राह्मण कुल या जाति का हूं। अहम ब्रह्मास्मि का अर्थ है मैं एक दिव्य चेतना हूं या मैं डिवाइन कॉन्शसनेस हूं, और यही अनुभूति आपके अहम के वहम से मुक्ति दिलाती है और उस परम परमात्मा से जुड़ने का मार्ग प्रशस्त करती है। और जिस दिन आप में ब्रह्मणत्व आता है, उसी दिन आप सच्चिदानंद भी बन जाते हो। सो बीइंग ब्रह्मन इज इक्वल टू बीइंग सत चित आनंद, कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ ट्रुथ और राइचसनेस प्लस डिवाइन कॉन्शसनेस प्लस डिवाइन ब्लिस। पुराणों में तो ब्राह्मण के 8 प्रकार बताए गए हैं। अभी समयाभाव के कारण उस चर्चा में मैं नहीं जाना चाहूँगा, लेकिन अभी के लिए बस इतना ही कहूँगा कि ब्राह्मण कोई कुल या जाति से नहीं, बल्कि अपने कर्मों से, अपने गुणों से, अपने संस्कारों से ब्राह्मण बनता है। और हर जाति, संप्रदाय या समाज के व्यक्ति ब्राह्मण बनने के अधिकारी हैं। ब्राह्मण कुल में जन्म लेने वाला व्यक्ति सद्गुणी या सदाचारी हो भी सकता है या नहीं भी हो सकता है, लेकिन सद्गुणी या संस्कारी या सदाचारी व्यक्ति अवश्य ही एक ब्राह्मण होता है। कभी और इस पे चर्चा करेंगे विस्तार से। अभी हम आगे बढ़ते हैं कार्यक्रम के अगले सेगमेंट की ओर, जिसमें हम एक भारत के पारंपरिक मान्यता के वैज्ञानिक कारण को समझेंगे और इसके अंतर्गत आज हम समझेंगे ऋषि मुनियों की भाषा संस्कृत क्यों है, अकॉर्डिंग टू केवी सिंह। शब्द ब्रह्म के अनुसार संसार में जितनी भी सूक्ष्म व स्थूल वस्तुएं हैं, वे सब ध्वनि से ही उत्पन्न हुई हैं। योग सूत्रों का यह मानना है कि इस संसार में 50 मूल ध्वनियां हैं। शेष ध्वनियां इन्हीं 50 मूल ध्वनियों से निकली हैं। मूल ध्वनियों को मात्रिक कहते हैं। इन मात्रिकाओं को ऋषि मुनियों ने अपनी ध्यानावस्था में सुना और फिर वाक तत्व, फोनेटिक प्रिंसिपल जिसे कहते हैं इंग्लिश में, उसके आधार पर एक भाषा का निर्माण किया, जिसे उन्होंने संस्कृत अतिशोधित नाम दिया। संस्कृत एक ऐसी भाषा है जिसमें मनुष्य के कंठ, दंत, जिह्वा, ओष्ठ व तालु से निकलने वाली सभी ध्वनियों को ज्यों का त्यों शब्दों में लिखा जा सकता है। विश्व की अन्य किसी और भाषा में ऐसा करना संभव नहीं है। संस्कृत भाषा में 51 वर्ण हैं, जिन्हें ब्राह्मी लिपि में लिखा जाता है। अन्य भाषाओं की अपेक्षा संस्कृत में यह क्षमता है कि इसमें जैसा बोला जाता है वैसा ही उसे लिखा जाता है। यह क्षमता इस भाषा की वैज्ञानिक आधार पर बनी वर्णमाला के कारण है। जब कोई संस्कृत का शुद्ध उच्चारण करता है तो उस मनुष्य के शरीर पर एक अनुकूल प्रभाव पड़ता है। यही नहीं, जो इस भाषा के शुद्ध उच्चारण को सुनते हैं उन पर भी इसका प्रभाव पड़ता है। यही कारण है कि पुराणों में लिखा है कि जो व्यक्ति वेद, पुराणों, रामायण व गीता के मूल पाठों का श्रवण करता था, उसका भी कल्याण हो जाता था। शायद यही कारण है कि पाश्चात्य गायिका मैडम मडोना ने संस्कृत के उच्चारण को सीखने के लिए एक अल्प अवधि कोर्स बनारस में किया। मडोना का कहना था कि इस भाषा के शुद्ध उच्चारण को सीखने के बाद उसने ऐसा महसूस किया कि संस्कृत शिक्षण के बाद उसे सुनने वाले अधिक प्रभावित हुए। खेद है कि आज संस्कृत एक जीवित भाषा नहीं है। गुप्त काल के दौरान संस्कृत समस्त भारत की राष्ट्रीय भाषा थी, पर कालांतर में इसका लोप हो गया। एक सर्वे के अनुसार देश में संस्कृत बोलने व समझने वाले मात्र आज 15,000 के करीब लोग बचे हुए हैं। संस्कृत भाषा को जीवित बनाने के लिए जर्मनी में कई शोध हो रहे हैं और हुए भी हैं, पर आज आवश्यकता इस बात की है कि ऐसे शोध भारत में भी होने चाहिए। संस्कृत संबंधी एक आश्चर्यजनक बात यह भी है कि अमेरिका में रह रहे भारतीयों ने न्यू जर्सी शहर में संस्कृत की एक नहीं कई संस्थाएं खोली हैं और वे वहां संस्कृत सीखते भी हैं और सिखाते भी हैं। आज के सत्र की समाप्ति मैं फिर एक आह्वान के साथ करूंगा, खासकर प्रोफेसर पीबी शर्मा जी के बातचीत से निकले कुछ मुख्य अंश को लेकर। सबसे पहले तो उन्होंने एजुकेशन और साइंस को लेकर अपनी चिंताएं जाहिर की, ये कहते हुए कि the purpose of education and science is getting lost today because the whole idea of education, especially science and technology education, shifted towards enriching industrial revolution or industrial development rather than ensuring and leading a happy life. He also expressed his concern over the development that has come at a great cost of environmental degradation, climate change, natural catastrophe, rapid depletion of natural resources and whatnot. According to him, a lot can be done by the power of science and might of technology, but they need to be utilized with care and caution. He also laid emphasis on wiping out poverty, creating job opportunities, and making this planet disease-free. He also made us commit to ourselves to the service of the humanity with the utmost humility at all levels, especially by those who are engaged seriously in science and technology pursuit today. He also advised all the academic institutions to lead by examples to bring positive change. To conclude, he also gave a peace message in which he clearly stated that the time is ripe to make this world a happy and healthy abode for the global humanity. For him, mere absence of war is not the sufficient condition of peace. We all have to understand our duties and behave responsibly for peace, prosperity, happiness, and sustainability of the mankind at large. तो मिलते हैं अगले एपिसोड में। Till then, enjoy your time meaningfully, और हाँ, अपना और अपनों का भी ख्याल रखें। जय हिंद।